A pleasant good morning to everyone. I am Khalid Sunan disciple, Umar Muhaammed, Neville Angeluscat, and as I've been always saying many names. Blessings on everybody. Today is the 7th day in the month of July. And as you know, every month I usually try some kind of numerical, tricks or something. Not really tricks, but numerical understanding according to the orders of numbers and so on. Because numbers play a very important part in our lives. It's an everyday happening in our lives. What today is, what tomorrow is, and so on. But as you know, I usually take two same numbers in the month and deal with it in connection with the year that we are in. For example, today is the 7th of the 7th, two same numbers, 2021, right? So let me see, the 7th of the 7th, 2021. And well, I used to do it by marking it down on a piece of paper and putting it before the screen, but for some reason or the other, it is not showing the way that I want it to show. So we're going to just imagine the numbers. Today is the 7th day, and let me see what time it is now. It's 8:45, the 7th of the 7th, 2021, 8:45. So here we have the 7th of the 7th, 2021. So in order to find out the amount of days in the week, we already have 7. So that's easy, 7 days in the week. In order to find out how many days in the month, we take the 7, or sometimes I go to the lowest number that can be that can go into any one of the other numbers, or divide it into any one of the other numbers without leaving a remainder. So since we have the 7th of the 7th, 2021, we have, let's go with 3. Yes, 3. 3 into 7 cannot go into 7 without leaving a remainder. 3 into the next 7, which is the 7th of the 7th, it still cannot go without leaving a remainder. Now 2021 consists of 2 numbers, or 4 numbers if you want to say so. 2 numbers, 20 and 21, 4 numbers, 3 numbers, 2021. But let's go with the last set of numbers in the year 2021. And we want to see how much 3 can go into 2021. 3 can go into 21 7 times, right? So 3 can go, the smallest number out of all these, 7th of the 7th, 21, is 3. So 3 can fit into 21 7 times without leaving a remainder, right? So what can we do now? So we add 21 plus 7 plus 3, right? Because the number that we use first is 3, right? So you get 3 into 21, 7. So therefore we have 3 numbers here. 21 involved. We have 3 numbers involved here. 21, 7 and 3. Now if you plus 21, 7 and 3, you will get 31. 21 and 7 is 28 and 3 is 31. So there we have proven that we now have 31 days in the month of July, right? So that's it. Month of July is an easy month. 7th day, today the 7th day of the 7th month, 2021, right? We used up the smallest number that can go into any one of these numbers, and we found that we can use 3 into 21, the last set of numbers in the year 2021. We can't put 7. So with these 3 and 7 and 21, we put them together, we get 31, right? And since we get 31, know for a surety that it was done in this month, the 7th of the 7th, 2021. We have 4 sets of numbers here now. We have 7, the 7th, the first set of number, of the 7th, the second set of number, 20, the third set of number, 21. So that is 4 sets of numbers, right? And that means we have 4 weeks in a month. So my people, that's it. We have solved the problem. The numerical, it's not a numerical problem, but it's a numerical way of trying to figure out how to get 7 days in the week, 31 days in the month, and 4 weeks in the month. Well, that's it, and thank you very much. But you know, I always put an extension to it, and my extension this morning, I was just on the internet, and many times on the internet I see that people are talking about sex, having sex with one partner, then having sex with this person. What happens when you have sex with a person? The negative or the positive of the person you can pass on. So sex is not just a thing of pleasure, it's a thing of measure. For it measures the negative with the positiveness. It measures the person's feeling towards you, good, bad, indifference, whatever it is. So it's a pleasure with measure. You know, sometimes when a man finishes having sex or a woman, he will sort of measure his time that he had with her. How long did he stay? How short did he stay? He measures the feeling with both others after and before. You know, it's a pleasure with measure that you must treasure. So that is what makes sex powerful. So whenever a man or woman is being possessed either by the good or the bad, sex is one of the ways in which it can be transported to the other person. The person's conduct, the person's vibration can be transported to the other person. And that means that if a woman or a man is being possessed by some negative force, or if there's a curse on that person, the curse can be transported from the man to the woman or when the woman is being pregnant, when the woman gets pregnant, of course the vibration of the woman with that curse will be absorbed into the DNA of the child or the children. And when that woman when she produces children or child, as you usually say, the fruit does not drop far from the tree, like father like son, like mother like daughter, or like parents like children. What happens with that curse? Whether it be good, whether it be a blessing or a curse, what happens is that if it's a blessing, the child comes out with the blessing, and the blessing is towards the parents. You know, your child comes out with a blessing, goes to school, be obedient, be kind, be ambitious, and grows up. And the blessing falls back on the parents, because, I mean, who parents would not like to sit back and say, I have toiled and sweat and sacrificed for my child or children, and here it is, my child is a blessing to me now. So I'm going down in age, and my child is a blessing to me in such a way so that my child assists me, helps me. I say, I give praise and thanks to the Most High. But the other way around, when it's about the curse, here it is, my child has grown up. My child has become disobedient, negative, run away from home, get involved with men, or run away from home, get involved with crime, with what have you. So my child goes up in having sex with different men, different situation, having children for man, with as a whole ball of confusion. My child grows up being a bandit, being a criminal, being in drugs, whatever. It's a whole ball of confusion. And what happens when the child grows up with that negativeness that was being projected out of the womb? When the child was being projected out of the womb, comes out with that negativeness. Negativeness is a force, and a force is an entity. So that child comes out with that entity, with that life force of negativeness in the DNA. So that woman breeds negativeness, and that negativeness is there to protect her, to shield her. Whether she is doing all the wrong that she is doing, that negative will protect her. Always put her in front of anything else. And so also, if it's a boy or whatever it is, to protect the father. And the father in return will say, my child cannot do any wrong. The parents in return will say, my child cannot do any wrong, because the negative force continues. To be produced, continues as a life force that is living from one person to the next person, from sexual relationship to conception, after conception to birth. And here we have the birth of a newborn baby. That newborn baby is possessed with a negative force too. And the negative force sees their mother or father as, I love you. I love you. We are there to love you and to protect you by all means necessary. And so if they continue, it continues from generation unto generation. And that is why the scriptures talk about a generation of vipers. Or the other way around, we have a generation of blessed people. But it happens. It happens, my people, Sometimes the curse will go away according to what he or she involves herself or himself into. Religion, prayers, because sometimes, a person knows that something is wrong. All my life I've been trying my best, this and that happened. Yes, because remember, you have an intelligence and you've seen good and bad around you. You've seen your mother living one way, your father living one way, drinking, your mother drinking, you yourself end up drinking. But you know something is wrong. And you are given a choice to know right from wrong. So if you want to know definitely that you must bring yourself within the lineage or within an order of righteousness, to say something is wrong. Somebody may tell you, boy, look how your family is so, your brothers so, your sisters so, like something wrong with everybody. And then you may ask the question, well, how do I get rid of it? Because sometimes the curse, or who your friends are, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are, or what you eat and what you drink, or how you go about in life and what you get involved with, can help you to get rid of that curse. Try your best and God will do the rest. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, then all good things shall be added unto you. Who Jah bless, no man curse. So you can get rid of the curse. But if you insist of following the mother, protecting the mother, or protecting the father, you will not be able to get rid of that curse. Do whatever you want to do. Go to nuns, priests, Hindus, Babalawos, or whatever, you will not be able to get rid of it. Because to get rid of the curse takes a collective, a unity between mother, father, and children in order to get rid of it. Because remember, it is through unity that curse spread. It is through the unity of the father having sex with the mother passed on that is spread. So you have to come together to unite. And to unite against all negativeness. To pray together. To understand what is the positiveness of life. To have a diet together. To stand firm together. To say, depart from me, ye curse into that everlasting fire. Depart from me, depart, get away. Because remember, everybody knows right from wrong. But sometimes some people know right from wrong and they go along with the wrong, they go with the flow. Because why? Because they want to be observed, they want to be known, they want to be seen. But forget about the flow, forget about the normal things in life that makes you more negative than think about the things that you have to get through in. Think about getting up and getting your children every morning to pray together. Think about getting something involved, positiveness. Get your children to learn a trade. When they go to school, talk to them. Dress properly in front of them. Speak the kind of thing you want to speak in front of them. Stop bad talking family members or in-laws or whatever it is in front of them. Because all that is negativeness, adding to negativeness, insult, adding to injury. It's an addition of things going on. The more negativeness you do in front of your children, is the more you multiply the curse, so that they will go and make curse too, so that they will go and have sex before time, so that they will go and commit themselves to crime, so that they will have an next child and they know who is the father. So that the father will be rum drinking, so that the brother will be rum drinking, so that the mother will have some multiples of men before. And if she settled on to a righteous life, probably she wouldn't like it. She will want to continue to have what they call a threesome or whatever it is. She will want to continue to have men. Even though she may be married, she will still want to continue to have a thing going, because that demon, that negativeness in her and her children is nothing but to get them to keep on the negative side of life, so that demon can be fed, so that demon can become more powerful and more stronger, so that will continue and the legacy of negativeness will continue. It happens with all of us, my people. with your father, my father, your father. But we have to understand what is family curse. We have to understand that our race of people were cursed into a kind of negativeness and a system that was cursed, because the system that we are living in is not the system that will tell us that we are Africans, that will tell us that we are cultured. So that curse is to move us all away from this African business, because none of us want to talk about Africa. None of us want to be positive. None of us want to put on African clothes and walk down the road. And if we look at the curse, we realize that the curse wants none of us to be involved in emancipation. When Emancipation Day comes, you can't see none of us here. It only want to involve us in a certain nonsense, from this man to that man, from this one to this one. Where is your emancipation as African people? Where is your culture? Forget about the man and who with this one and who with that one and who with that one. Sometimes some parents even go so far to be with their daughter's boyfriend. Some father even go so far to be with their son's girlfriend. And so it multiplied the curse by wrongdoings. And some of these doings may seem to be right, so that anybody come forward and say, hey, that is not right, that is wrong. Oh boy, who tell you to say so? Your life may be threatened, you will get killed. Because they have to protect that curse from mother to children, go right down. You ever see a hen with your children around her? Anytime if you come near, they want to pick you. Anytime, yeah, some animals are like that. And some of us are like that too. Don't interfere with my mother. Don't interfere with my father. Don't tell them anything. My mother is my mother. My father is my father. And how they see love? They don't see love like how we see love. They see love the different way. That is what they do. They are mistaken with passion. They are mistaken with a dependency syndrome. They are mistaken with a certain nonsense in life. Oh, I love my father. Oh, I love my mother. But then when you look at it, the love thing that they call love is not taking them anywhere. They are not going anywhere year after year after year. It happens in my family. It happens, but not until at a certain age. As they say, experience is best, then we all will get to understand. So let's pray that we live to become old and have our children, and one day we'll tell our children, you cannot talk to me like that. Because if you look at it, they want their children to go the right way, and the more they see their children in confusion, the more they get disappointed. So if they check what it is went on from the beginning, the man who they had sex with or the woman who they had sex with, they will know what it is went wrong. They will look to find a solution. And sometimes that solution can only be formed after experience it is them best in old age. And sometimes again they want their children to go the right way, but the children keep going the wrong way, but they don't have the solution. You know why? What they say in front of their children, what they talk in front of their children, how they talk, what they dress, what they do, and their children sometimes will protect them or will defend them by all means necessary. Sometimes the curse fall on them through their parents, sometimes through somebody in the area, by going into people's house, by eating from people, by people being jealous in them, many ways. So, I'm telling you, my people, be careful how you allow people to put their hand in your ear. Be careful when you go by people. Don't eat by people. Be careful in going in people's house. Be careful when people come by you. Be careful of the friends you have. Be careful, most important, of the man or woman who you have sex with. Be careful, be careful. Because we are going to be continuing a generation of vipers. Bend over, bend over. And every time they bend over, is a child without knowing who is the father. Is a father who drinking, who punching? Is somebody who gambling and can't stop gambling? Is somebody who have an ailment and it cannot be healed? Is somebody who is dying? Is somebody who is a married woman who is a married man? And it's a whole set of mix up evil, demonic thing in people's life. It happens in family. This sister with a married woman, this sister with a married man, seven married one, seven, this one had child, there's a whole set of thing going on. So how will it be solved if you don't want to listen to people who will want to see you go the right way? How will it be solved if you think that when somebody tell you the right thing, they must come to you and pamper you? Hey, every time, don't do that, don't do that. When you're talking to a demon or you're talking to negative forces, sometimes you have to come out and let them know, hey, those Kyla, don't do that, that's wrong to do. But some people mistake it. They say you're wicked. They say you was not doing them a right thing. But they cannot see that this is a blessing in disguise, because I know it happened in our family, yeah. Look at a brother down there, I could tell you, he cursed mad for years and he still. But when you listen, I listen to people. And I listen to what people tell him and I listen to what they're telling me. Yeah. It are people that come to me and talk to me in such a way that I got vexed. When I reach home, I say, hey, you know what? That person had to talk to me that way. It's not that person don't love me anymore. They're wicked, you know, as some people will say. That person had to talk to me in that way. Sometimes I even think it couldn't be that person talking to me. It's an angel that manifests itself in that person to talk to me. Or let you put it that way, God is vexing me. So when God talking to me, God can't talk to me so nice. Hey, what happened? God is vexing me and God is talking to me. You see, sometimes when God talks to us through the thunder, to the lightning, to the disease, to the storm, and we can't say nothing. But when somebody comes to us and say, hey, I don't like what you're doing, we're talking about that, oh, we get vexed. We'll get up any time in the morning to drink rum. We'll get up any time, we'll use back over any time to do things. But you get up and you hear that person talking to you, you saw what the morning, blah, 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 blah. Well, let somebody that come to give you a bottle and you would take it. Let somebody that come to give you marijuana, you would take it. Let somebody that come to lead your church, let me go and make our bid on you would take it. Let some woman that come to you one time and say, hey, girl, I'm feeling hot. Hey, boy, I'm feeling hot. You would take it. You would take it. But monkey doesn't know what tree to climb on. And monkey doesn't know when to get on. You see, everything has its convenience. According to how it thinks. According to what it wants to happen around it. Right? Because when God wants to talk to us, God talks to us in many different ways, and sometimes you have to take it. God is talking to us through the COVID-19. Social distancing. Social, because the connection, when there's a virus, is to pass on the virus. The connection, when there's a virus, when there's a demon, when there's a negative force in the blood, is to pass it on through sex. So some of us don't want a social distance. We don't check ourselves. We don't wear our mask. We don't sanitize ourselves. We don't sanitize our mind. We don't wear our mask against evil. So we go and have sex without sanitizing, without wearing a mask, and we pass on the demon. Negative into negativeness, and that's a catastrophe. What's sweet in goat mouth is sour in bam bam. But we like it so. Gosh, it's nice. I enjoy myself. You enjoy yourself to do what? To come and have a father who don't want to mind a child from that same sex? To come and have a son who invokes that negativeness to become a criminal? What you sow is what you reap. As how you make it your bed, the so shall you lie. Come on, man. Don't allow things to happen in such a drastic way so that you have to jump and kill. You know, because some of us, like Trinidadians, we always like to be happy. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. So here it is now, the COVID-19, and some of us jump, we have to get yourself. You know why? Because we see death. Because we see suffering, and see some of us in catch yourself. So some of you all who have that family curse, when you only want to catch all yourself. Death come and all didn't catch all yourself. That come on, let's still cussing one another. Before let's say, well, listen, that just happened in the nation, it has happened in the family, it's a death or death. Let me calm myself because you don't know what the next moment will bring. Or you still want to continue to cuss, you still want to get on, you still want to look at things in a negative way. Because there is nobody that's trying to show you the right way. Your father is not trying to show you the right way because your father passed on the curse. Your mother is not trying to show you the right way. Sometimes it's just a bad talk and you bad talking one another. Sometimes mother bad talking all the children, and all the children, you know, bad talking. It's a thing in the family. Everybody, because it's a courtesy. So everybody see one another negative. Negative. Mother bad talk children with the father. The father come and bad talk the mother. And then the mother bad talk the father bad talk. There's a whole set of thing going on. Right? And then sometimes they accuse one another. It's backhand in the family, cussing, brother fight with sister, brother with sister, mother with mother. And sometimes they accuse one another of complaining. Complaining what? How can you accuse a man of complaining, or can you accuse somebody of complaining when the same person is complaining on you too? When the same person is complaining on the father, is complaining on the mother, is complaining on the children, complaining on the brother, or the father doing the same thing, complaining on the... It's a whole set of... Well, you don't understand what is evil, boy. When you say that person is complaining about, that person is coming and complaining about you. And people will know all your secret and all the negativeness about you because that person complaining about you, and that person will come to you and complain about me. Boy, I see that in family. It happened in this family here already. It happened in all family. Brother fighting with sister with mother, who don't like this one, who like this one, who children is for this one, how children who make sure. It's a whole sort of thing. But as we go older and we involve ourselves in right knowledge, in right things, we start to get better. Because we have to know the right thing. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, then all good things shall be added unto you. So I say unto you, my people, my brother, my sister, I don't know what religion you belongs to, but try to be righteous to get rid of that place. We talk about a generation of vipers, we talk about a legacy of curse, we talk about the sins of the parents will fall on the children. Please, as I talk to you, open your mind, open your ears. Look at your life now. Where are you going? How long have you been making children for who and who and who? Where have you gone? How long have you been in love with this woman and that woman? Stop being in love with the married woman. Stop committing adultery. Stop committing fornication. Learn how to dress properly in front of your children, to talk properly in front of your children. Because whatever you do, your children are watching you. And if they fall into sin, it is your fault. If they commit adultery, it's your fault. So many of the children grow up, they watch what their parents do, and they go and have sex with some young girl or some young man. And what happens? They grow up having sex, they're married with this one and that one. You think when anybody come to correct the mother, they go like that? You think when anybody come to correct the father, they go like that? They have to be in a certain mindset to say, well, yes, you're right. Let us change. Let us repent. Let us baptize. And sometimes baptism ain't doing nothing for them. Sometimes they go down by the sea and bed and it ain't doing nothing for them. You know why? It ain't doing nothing for them. Because you have to clean your inside. Clean your inside. You have to detox your inside. You have to prepare yourself. You can't go and baptize without preparing yourself. So about 6 months before baptism, if you're going to be baptized, try to cut out the negativeness in you. So your baptism will be easy and it will be more successful. Because when you go and baptize, you jump set of negativeness on you and then prepare yourself. You could trap the negativeness inside you. Because it's inside you, it's in your mind. So some people go to baptize today and tomorrow the same thing. You know why? Because they didn't purge themselves. You know, like if you're going to get a job or if you want to be qualified, you train yourself to be in a certain category. So if you want to be a policeman, you train yourself to be a policeman. They don't take it just so you come be a policeman. They train you. They organize you. Your mind, your intelligence can be trained to be a policeman, to be a soldier, to be a doctor, to be a nurse. So you just can't go and baptize and expect that things will work out. And baptize now. Oh no. You train, you prepare yourself, mind, body, and spirit. And when you go, you will be accepted. You will be accepted. You will be anointed. You cannot take something which is dirty and push it in water and pull it out and expect it to be clean right away. No. You have to get rid of that mud, get rid of that dirt in it. Because if you want it to be transformed, not to say it wouldn't go into the water, perfect. But if you want it to be transformed, you must make it easier for the water to clean it. You know, like you finish, your wares you finish, right? You ain't go just take your dirty wares or your dirty pot just and put it in water and you will take the pot scrubber and your task. You will take a little soap and wash it 2 or 3 times for it to really get clean. So what I'm saying to you, prepare yourself. Listen to the pastor, listen to the priest. Go on the internet. Know yourself as an African. Because if you don't have culture about a race of people, you ain't going to like a race of people. And you ain't going to know. How much of these people who suffer from these things want to know anything about Africa? Look at them emancipation, they're dead. They don't want to know anything about that. When last have you seen any one of them with African, we talk African thing to the children? So the children grow up as Negro and niggers. While the Indians, the Chinese grow up knowing themselves and liking themselves, and you don't like yourself because you don't care about yourself. You're looking forward for some government to pass a little change for you. Right? Let me don't depend on no government. Let me don't depend on nobody to give you work. Let me try to get ourselves together so that we can employ ourselves and be our own economics. Let the money circulate within our area, within our family, or what have you. You ever see people in our family don't want to do nothing to help themselves? They're living by the road, but they don't even want to get out there and say, well, listen, I have a ice box or something, so a cooler, let me see what I could. My people, have a good day. Umar Muhaammed, Kalutsunan disciple. Have a good day.